Imagine a case that's been buried in mystery for more than 3 decades, involving the brutal murder of a woman. How did the killer remain hidden for over 3 decades? What groundbreaking evidence emerged after 35 long years, shattering their original theory? We'll stick around as we unravel the truth behind the murder that gripped the nation. Discover how a killer was finally unmasked after all these years. Today's story takes us back to November 20th, 1975. In the city of Preston, northwest England, when the lifeless body of 26-year-old Joan Harrison was discovered in an abandoned carport at Berwick Road, Avonham. Joan had been brutally assaulted and mercilessly beaten, and investigators described her passing as both prolonged and agonizing. Joan Harrison, a mother of 2, endured a turbulent life filled with drinking, drugs, failed relationships, and financial hardships. Her journey led her to Preston, where she faced the end of her marriage, the loss of her home, and the separation of her 2 daughters, Maxine and Denise. Eventually, she found herself in bedsit, entangled with her landlord, David Keeley. Did you know that initially there was little to suggest that this case would become high profile? Joan's history and drug use garnered little public sympathy. Sadly, flawed victims often receive less societal compassion. Yet, there was something peculiar about Joan Harrison's murder that captured the attention of detectives. The crime scene revealed that she had been attacked and killed in the carport that you see right here, not dumped there. As the investigators dug deeper, they uncovered even more unsettling details. Detectives soon realized that there was no ordinary homicide. They found a bite mark on her breast and several missing jewelry items, including 2 gold wedding rings belonging to the twice-married victim. Upon re-examining the scene, it became evident that the crime was meticulously planned and executed ceremoniously. Here's a surprising twist. The post-mortem examination revealed an uncommon B blood type, but finding a suspect was challenging. The police tirelessly interviewed numerous men, but hit a dead end. The case went cold, leaving investigators frustrated and Joan's family desperate for answers. But in 1978, the Joan Harrison murder investigation gained new life with tips, suggesting she might be a victim of the Yorkshire Ripper. This man you see now is Peter Sutcliffe, who was later identified as the Yorkshire Ripper, terrorized northern England, killing 13 women between 1975 and 1980. Most of his victims were sex workers or women walking alone at night, just like Joan. The Yorkshire Ripper's operation was shockingly similar to Joan's murder, prompting West Yorkshire police to form a task team, conduct interviews, and follow up on every lead. Then, on March 8, 1978, the letter you see on the screen reportedly from the Yorkshire Ripper arrived. "I am the Ripper. I've been named a lunatic by the press. However, not by you. You call me shrewd, and I am." The letter's forensic investigation indicated that the writer, who is suspected of being Joan Harrison's killer, also possessed the uncommon B blood type. But following Sutcliffe's capture and confession, those messages were proven to be from hoaxer John Humble, the man you see right here, also known as Wareside Jack. Sutcliffe, from Bradford, was sentenced to life in prison in 1981 for murdering 13 people and attempting to murder 7 more, while Humble, from Sunderland, was sentenced to 8 years in 2006 for perverting the course of justice. Despite these obvious linkages, Preston police struggled and justice seemed out of reach. However, in 2008, an unexpected turn of events unfolded when Christopher Smith, previously unnoticed, was arrested for drunk driving in Leeds. Smith, a sex offender who passed as a loving father and grandfather, was swabbed for DNA. No one was prepared for what was to follow. If you like this video so far, do hit the like button and subscribe. He had no idea that his past would eventually catch up with him. With no criminal DNA database in place during his crime spree, Smith eluded capture for over 3 decades. Finally, the long-awaited reckoning had arrived, casting light on the true nature of this seemingly ordinary man. A DNA match linked him to Joan's murder, exposing his presence in Preston when she died, possibly encountering her by chance after being released from HMP Preston. Smith, who was dying from lung cancer, was arrested but died 6 days later. Investigations revealed his extensive history of criminal convictions, including assault, theft, and sex crimes. Police reported that a 3-page letter Smith wrote the day before he passed away, in which he appeared to acknowledge the murder, was also discovered at his residence. Serial offender Smith, 60, from Leeds, died in 2008, but the Crown Prosecution Service said police had gathered sufficient evidence to charge him with murder if he was still alive. Joan Harrison's tragic life ended with a cold case, leaving a lasting impact on history. As we reflected, let's remember the victims and hope for a world free from violence and suffering. Do you think Joan got the justice she deserved? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.